asking me for the Big Bazz remix.
Richie Mac, Travel OG.
If you guys want fire music, make sure to follow me on YouTube as well.
Let's get it.
Leg up.
With your broke ass.
I just wanna zoom out to Thailand. Once my flight land, then I turn it into my land. I'm a Thai fan. Richie Mac, I'm arriving. Once I hit Pattaya, got bands, I'ma dive in. On the golf course, I'ma use my 9-9. She love chocolate, watch her walk it, cause she fine. She 5'1", in them heels like she 5'9". Hit subscribe, going live, 9999. Richie Mac, overseas, that's that travel OG. Pay a visit when you can. Wanna zoom to Thai.
Get on your get off the pot of piss. No money, no risk.
I'm gonna take all the bass out of it.
Take it and wear it and flex. Stuck to my chest like a vest. Gamble and shake it in next. Cash we take and invest. Poverty government checks. Bet out of debt. Virginia, we enter the debt. We curse, we turn and we're blessed. We playing test with the best. Ain't got no time to be stressed. Bet out of debt.
Because what hate today I need. I don't like that today I need. That sounds so muffled. Let's see what we got here. Today I need. Today I need
Success, progress. Gotta get on your get off the pot of piss. No money, no risk. Ain't in the drink, we take it and wear it and flex. Stuck to my chest like a vest. Gamble and shake it and next. Cash we take and invest. Poverty government checks. Bet out of debt. Virginia, we enter the debt. We curse, we turn over blessed. We playing test with the best. Ain't got no time to be stressed. Bet out of debt.
Cash move everything around me. Bet I'm surrounded by sharks, so try not to get wet. Your finances are gone, the more you are a threat. The more money you get, the more you should invest. I'm black on my neck, back on my ship. Back on my grind till the sun start to eclipse. Credit score check, debit amount check. High risk success, bet I'm out of debt. I'm cool in the gang. You remember? Broke days and nights off in Virginia. You denied like homie you ain't a member. Now I'm the president rolling down my window. Credit score check, tune in, check to see what's next. Now bet out of debt. Yeah, health, wealth, and sex. Living way above getting checks. Yeah, bet out of debt.
Look who we have in the building.
Whoa now.
Big Bazz in the building, coming out of Houston, Texas. What's up, Big Bazz?
What's up with it, Bet? What's up with it?
Oh, man, look at here, man. I'm ecstatic to have you on the show. We just played a few samples of kind of your talents. And in the beginning, you were in the studio, a song that you created exclusively for Bet Out of That. You did a little remix. We're going to play that near the later part of the show. But good morning, brother. How are you?
Good morning. Good, man. Highly favored and blessed waking up this morning, you know.
All right. Let's get into it, Bazz. I mean, for those who may not be familiar with you, who is Big Bazz and where did you get that name Bazz from?
Big Bazz is, I'm out of New Orleans, Louisiana, right? I got the name Big Bazz because, you know, during my youth, wayward, you know, getting into trouble. So I went to trial and I used to wear these glasses. I had to wear these. Well, someone asked me, my lawyer asked me, hey, why don't you put on these glasses to kind of soften your image, you know, at trial. So when I wore them, I didn't know that they were going to televise it on television. So when they televise it on television, the guys in the on the block seen the broadcast on live television, and they was like, "Oh man, he looked like Malcolm X. He looked like Shabazz, Al-Haj Malik Shabazz." So ever since then, they started calling me Shabazz in the community. So you know that's where the name come from originally. But yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, Bazz. Now you are a YouTube sensation, hit maker, the popular YouTube channel Zoom to Thailand. Man, I played that beat in the beginning in the montage.
Yeah.
You know, man, how did you learn how to make beats? Is that something that can be taught?
Well, actually, when I was younger, I used to beat on a lot of stuff. You know, as a kid, beat on tables, beat on boxes. We used to save pots, beat on pots. So my mother bought me a little drum, bought me a snare drum. So I guess that's where the rhythm and all of that come from beating on the drums, and I joined the band and all of that. But my grandmother actually bought me my first Roland TR-505 drum machine. So that's where it came from. It just came from just practicing and having a love for music, a love for making beats, and then getting into production and producing. But yeah.
So you actually can be taught. I mean, it wasn't like a God-given gift.
Well, it's a gift, but I think it can be taught also. It can be taught because nowadays it's so easy now because you have programs, software where it actually kind of gives you a leg up when it comes to production because everything is it's sequenced for you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when we was coming up, we had to use floppy disk and you had to really be on cue, on time when you did those beats. Yeah. So yeah, it could be taught.
And
But for yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You were about to
Yeah,
say something.
for me it's God given. I look at it as God given as far as writing and rhythm. Some of that stuff you can't teach, you know. So, and some things can be taught, some things can be taught. So you can learn it.
Now you're big in the travel space. You personally travel overseas a lot to various countries. How did you get into the travel game, and what are some of your favorite countries that you visited and why? Because I see you over in the travel space quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I started getting into the travel space when, I used to do a lot of reading and studying. So I always read about these countries and all of these places. And I started following Charles Tyler. I seen some videos, and it's rare to see a black man in these exotic places where, and there were black people there, but I'm just saying, just to see a black man that I can relate to in these spaces, and then it turned me on to TMD, it turned me on to Tailor Made Dreams and other YouTubers. I even started watching Ace Live and a couple other cats before their channels even took off. So when I seen them doing it, I'm like, well, you know what? I wanna try to venture out. So, and that's what got me into traveling. And as far as like some of my favorite places, I guess just the places I've been to, and some like Brazil is one of the ones that I've like watched because I watched Charles Tyler in Brazil, and I watched his other brother who recently passed away, like about a year ago. But I watched them guys in Brazil, and it was beautiful. So just to see, black people in Brazil and to see the beaches and the lifestyle in Brazil, that put it at the top. And I think Thailand was another one because of my affinity for Richie Mack in the show and the way he presented, it just made Thailand just so, so different. And I think another one is Dominican Republic because that's pretty much, the black man's playground. I've seen a lot of videos of brothers in Dominican Republic. It's a connection because, even though they speak Spanish, they had the culture is like black. The culture is more, foundational black. So, it's those are the top three that I look at.
Right. Yeah, man. And big ups to Richard Mack, bro. Richard Mack brought it when he came on the show like a month ago. And, we're both connected to Richard Mack. That's how I got connected to you. A few of us YouTubers, we use you for our intro music. I played some of the music in the beginning. I'm going to play some other stuff for our audience in a bit. How did you connect with that YouTuber Zoom to Thailand, Richard Mack, and where did you guys meet? And what's the story behind that?
Oh, well, I met, I was, scanning in the YouTube space, looking in the travel space. I ran into one of his old channels, Nappy Network. And Nappy Network showed a lot of I guess I would call Dr. Dre a mentor because I studied how he did production and how he did music. So when I seen a lot of those behind the scene footages coming from his Nappy Networks, it took me over to a new channel called Zoom to Thailand. So when I seen that in his early stages, I was hooked. When I seen his intro and his editing and the footage, I was hooked. I was like, you know what? I want to, add something. I want to add some flavor from where I'm from. So I say, you know what? Let me do something that may or might garner some attention from him to kind of like even put it in there. So I did it on a whim, sent it to him, and the rest is history.
Oh wow! So you just hit him up. How did you hit him up? How did you do that?
Right, yeah. I hit him up. What I did, I sent it to an old email of his. I don't know how I got to him because he rarely checks that email. He rarely checks it. But I sent it to him. I highlighted the email, and for whatever reason, he answered that email. Out
And,
of all the emails he left, yeah.
and,
So
and was it the beat? Did you send him just the email, or did you send him
no,
that
I
beat
sent him
that
the
we
whole
heard in the
song.
beginning?
Yeah. I sent him the whole song. I'm sorry. I sent him the whole song in its completion. And it was a raw mix. It wasn't like all the way mixed down, but it was a raw mix because I just wanted to see if he was going to respond. Matter of fact, I didn't even get a response from him. I didn't get a response. I was watching the show one day, and boom, it was playing on the show,
That
and I was
beat.
just like,
That
yeah,
beat.
the song, the beat, the
Yeah.
editing. I'm talking about everything, just what you saw in the clip.
Yeah.
I seen the clip, and I was like, oh, okay, So from there, we kind of like emailed each other and gone on a relationship. Then I hit him up, FaceTime him, and we started like really just getting into each other's background, getting into each other's, kind of giving him a more humanistic side of me, trying to, where it's more than music, is this, is that, I do this. So that's how we built the relationship, and ever since it's been good because of Richie Mack. I think brothers like that deserve, a lot of credit because he put travel or the travel sector in a different space in terms of like, I think he took it to another level in terms of Charles Tyler, TMD. They're kind of like, they're like staples and they kind of like raised the bar. And he kind of took it to a whole nother level with the music because I do music. So that's what attracted me to Zoom to Thailand. When I heard the music and his choice of music, it spoke to me. I grew up on hip hop. I grew up in the music business. I grew up rapping and, so yeah, that's what really spoke to me, the Zoom in the travel sector. And brothers got to get with it, man, because if you don't have that sauce, it's going to kind of like going to be in demand the way he's setting the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how I met you, through Richie Mack. I mean, we connected. I think we connected in his Patreon. And then from there, he connected me with you. And then we talk multiple times a week. I know you talk to him multiple times a week as well behind the scenes. So, yeah, Baz, just a little more about you. You have a very interesting life, and you share openly how you were locked up for a minute, in the system. Can you share some advice on how you overcome that and how you overcame that, I should say, and just a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, well, with that, as far as like coming out of a situation like that, um, the way I did was one is like building a relationship with your family, the people that supported you. A lot of times I see guys come in and go out, come in, go out because the very people that supported them when they get out, they don't surround themselves with those people or those individuals. They go right back to the same crowd that got them back where they were, how they got in there in the beginning. And another thing is to surround yourself with people who are actually doing great things, doing good things, or going in the direction that you want to go in. Because if you're not, if you're not grounded in terms of, knowing in what direction you want to go, then you'll pretty much be spinning your wheels. And I think the third thing is to kind of cut loose old ties. You got to cut loose some old ties, man. If you don't cut loose the old ties, that old way of thinking, that old way of, old friends that kind of like, influenced you and put you in a position in the beginning to head down that road you're heading, then more times than not, you're gonna repeat that process. So, and that's what I did. I surrounded myself with good people. I continue to. So brothers like yourself, Richie Mack, good brothers who, you know, and I'm in the music sector, so I surrounded myself with entertainers, you know, labels. Connections is everything. You got to make connections. If you don't have connections, good connections, then the probability of you repeating the same behaviors is greater. So that's what I tell my young brothers, you know, to pretty much surround yourself with good people, not yes men, not people who can, you know, check you, people who can give you great advice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And look, when you were locked up, you were locked up for a significant amount of years. You became friends with a famous person. Let me share this for those. Who is that in on the screen? And tell us about that, Bass.
That is the one and only Chad Butler. Chad Butler is better known as Pimp C. I knew, yeah, he's from Port Arthur, Texas. So originally, when I touched down, I ran into a brother that was actually managing Boss. Boss is a female rapper, and
I
him and
remember
Bun,
Boss. I
yeah,
remember
him and
her.
Bun had already, yes, sir. But to make a long story short, I ran into Pimp when Pimp caught his case, and he came to this unit I was on, and I was real close with another rapper. I could say he's somewhat famous, Smith D of Face Mob. Yes. So I ran into Smith D, and me and Smith D kind of chopped it up because he had a ongoing relationship with Pimp C and Chad Butler and UGK and the whole Rap a Lot family. You know, Jay Prince. So that's where the whole connection comes from. It comes from this brother here, Smith D, and my connection with the Rap a Lot family. So that's what that was about. Yeah, that's how I met Pimp C. And yeah, and matter of fact, he has a book, the book out. They, you know, I'm in his book as far as like an excerpt on, you know, how we met and what unit we was on, and it's right there in the book, as you can see. So yeah. And that was very interesting because right before I came home, my brother unfortunately passed away. So I had to find another way to kind of like, you know, express myself musically. So I started, you know, going out with the Coffee Brothers, you know, Devin the Dude, Smith D, and ever since, you know, the YouTube thing popped off of Richie Mack, that's the route I've been going.
Excellent. Hey, we're gonna go to the chat, see if people have questions in the chat for Bit Bass. If you have questions in the chat, comments, you could put them in there, and you can talk live with Baz. If you need to hook up, like I got, like some others got on their YouTube channel, here's a slim way to talk to Baz. And also, guys, if you like what you're hearing, you're learning something, if you're enjoying the comment, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps with the show and for others to see this content. We really appreciate all of you guys who are tuning in and listening to Big Bass here. So let me see if we have any comments in the chat. We have any comments here, because if we don't have any real comments, we can go to the next segment, and we're gonna play some of your cuts a little later on Baz. So we're almost to that segment, but I don't see any comments here, not a lot. And in post-production, I can just edit this out for those who may not have comments right now or questions. So no biggie. But also, the moderator said, let's share and subscribe to Big Bass Life. Need to do that. Tell us a little bit about your channel, Bass.
Well, my channel is new, of course. So I'm trying to see in what direction, you know what I'm saying, I want to go in, because I have a lot of video footage, live video footage. Didn't really want to kind of incorporate a lot of how can I put it, like famous names of famous people, you know, because of the situation in terms of like getting like not strikes, but getting like, clearance, put it that way. I want to get total clearance. So if I'm working with you and I did work with you and I videoed you and we did sessions or we did some kind of recording, I want to get clearance before I just start posting on YouTube, content about, sessions or things of like that nature, because a lot of times these artists and these individuals want to be private. You know what I'm saying? So even in that manner, I'm just trying to find a way where I can start showing people the post production and how I make the beats and how I come up with the content, any questions of that matter, and then from there we'll take it to the travel sector. So I want to
Gotcha.
interlock the two. I want to interlock the music with the travel sector as far as traveling. Whether it's overseas, whether it's in the cities, I just want to bring good content that deals with music on a level to where the kids to kind of get inspired to want to travel. Seeing music, in hip hop, in any kind of aspect overseas. So that's what I want to get into.
Excellent. Well, let's segue into the next segment. Let's talk about investing in the stock market and investing in the music game. We all
So,
invest in some capacity. First off, do you invest in the stock market? And if so, do you have any picks? And what's your investment strategy before we start talking investing in music?
well, I know some people that invested. Me personally, I haven't. I have interest because at the same time, I'm like, I want to be sure about certain stocks. I know people that have invested in Netflix, invested in Apple, different companies, and they've made a grip. For me, I think I'm yearning to learn more before I jump head first into it, because I know a lot of people jumped head first into crypto and they've won. Some people have waited later and kind of like it's been an up and down situation. But yeah, definitely I want to invest, and that's what turned me on to your channel. I kind of started peeping out your channel once the connection was made, and like, oh, okay, he know what he talking about.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
definitely. So
yeah,
definitely it piqued my interest and I want to learn, and I'm gonna be honest, like that's what, that's the that's the thing that kind of kept me locked into the channel, as far as like peeping out and seeing people like lead over here and other people like really on it. So yeah, definitely.
yeah. Lead likes the options. I haven't talked to him lately about that. It'd be good to hear what Lead's take is on the options right now. But yeah, we invest and I highly recommend it. But let's talk about investing in the music business then, since you're not more of a stock market picker or a stock picker. For our younger viewers that may want to follow in your footstep as a beat maker, what is some of the basic setups you need as a beat maker, and what kind of investment should one take? And also, do you have any good books and sources like on YouTube or something for that person who wants to follow your footsteps?
Well, as far as like beat making, well, let me clarify this. I produce is a little different from beat making. Beat making is more a process of just putting sounds together, putting beats together. Production is actually putting the sounds along with the lyrics and along with the melodies and along with the harmonies, and that's producing. So I do more producing than beat making. Beat making is it's fairly easy today, because now it's just software you can get. They have Fruity Loops, they have Ableton. It's different. Me personally, I use Machine, I use MPC. So it's different hardware and software you can use, and it's virtually easy. It's something that you can learn. You can have fun with it. And as far as like the music business, as far as book, there's a book called Learning the Music Business. Uh, Let me think of this author's name. I think his name is Lenny Gratz. Lenny Gratz. I'm not sure, but I have to look that up. But they have like learning the music business. There's other books. There's YouTube channels that can teach you about like doing beats. You know, there's a guy named Onyx. There's a guy named there's a couple of YouTube guys that I look at. I rarely look at a lot of YouTube videos. It'll be something random, but matter of fact, I'm gonna start doing that on my channel to where I give tips and tidbits about a lot of the things that the professionals don't tell you about, like making your music more fuller, or where to get your sounds from, or how to a cheat sheet. So yeah, definitely. That's something you can look forward to if you subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try to give away every week some type of tidbits on how to get your production up to par.
Yeah. So what are some of the basic setup equipment our younger viewers who may want to get that basic setup to get started in production?
Yeah, basic setup. You're gonna need probably a mic. You're gonna need like some. It don't have to be the greatest mic or the most expensive mic. Something that's decent. Maybe in the $300 to $250 range. You're gonna need like a recording software. Anything. You can get Pro Tools, Logic's, Guitar Band, uh, Studio One. It's different software you can get to start recording. As far as beats, it ain't got so easy. Now you can just go on YouTube and find beats. You can go on different places and find. You don't necessarily have to make beats. Making beats not for everybody, but yeah. So it's virtually easy, especially in this day and age. Now they even have apps. Now you can get on your phone and make beats. So definitely.
Yeah. And so do you have a particular equipment you recommend, like a computer or?
Yeah, well, the best computers you probably can use is a Mac. Mac have a certain they have certain frequencies in it that kind of like it's typically made for for production. Windows, you can use Windows also, so Windows don't hurt. I use a machine. I use Machine Studio as far as like beat production, and an MPC, a Kai MPC. I use Roland. It depends on what your flavor is. It depends on what kind of beat you're doing. If you're doing R&B, of course you're gonna need a keyboard. I have drums. I have guitars. I have like bass guitars, and it's just different. You have to build your collection little by little, because it can become fairly expensive. But now they have it to where all of this stuff is acquirable on online. You can buy these things online. Where can you go get them at online? Probably Guitar Center. They have different sites to where you can go to and download. Like I use Waves. I use Universal Audio. Stuff like that. So if you just research it, it's at your fingertips. Just Google it, and it'll pop up. Or you can even go on YouTube and look it up.
Okay. Cool. We're going to get to your music in the next segment. And guys, we're still going to come to the chat in a moment. If you have any questions, we'll go after this in a moment. So Baz, what do insiders know about the music business that most people may not know or should know when entering the business as a producer?
Well, as far as like the music business itself, the music business is not set up for the artist to win, to own its product, to be financially secure, because the artist is the last person.
Wow.
The artist is the last person on the totem pole. Ice-T gave an analogy of the music game. He said that the artist is like the prostitute on the street. The music business is like the pimp. The car, everything, the clothes is all recouped through the artist. So everything the artist does, whether it's music videos, whether it's music production, post-production, that's why the music business is not the same anymore. That's why you see a lot of artists pretty much doing doing things pro bono, doing it on their own, entrepreneur. So I would say like ownership is good. And don't get me wrong, getting a big deal, the big contract is good also because it relinquishes you from having to do all of the footwork. Me, as you can see, I do everything. I have to do the beat, I have to do the writing, I have to do the recording, I have to do the mixing and the mastering. I do everything. So, and I had to do it because if I had to pay someone, it would be fairly expensive. If you want top production, top notch production in terms of music. So I learned it just like my brother Richie Mack. If Richie Mack had to pay someone to edit Zoom to Thailand the way he edits, he would have to he would be paying out the wazoo. So a lot of times you're forced in a situation where you have to learn. And learning is not bad, you know what I'm saying? Because it's something that you can pass that knowledge on to the next person and they can kind of like beat the odds. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely the artist needs to be about their business because the music business is not set up for you to win. You got people like Prince that changed his namesake to a symbol because under the contract he was under in the music business, he did not own the rights to his name. So that's why he started. So a lot of artists have shown you through the years that's why they call it masters. Your master is you. You're the master. So if someone is going to own your masters, they own you. So you're the slave. And I don't mean that in a bad context or connotation, but that's what it is. The artist is pretty much the slave to the music business because the music business, a lot of these labels, they own the masters.
Yeah, and it sounds like everything you hear is true about the artist. So is the music game really set up for the producers and the writers and the company, the artists is like at the bottom of the totem pole. They get kind of messed over. So the game is just set up for everyone except the artists. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm saying and also it's a nepotism type game. So it's about connections. And just pretty much like Hollywood, everything is about connections. So it ain't even really about talent. It's not about talent so much as it is about connections. Because I probably can rival some of your best artists. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is they have the connections. And
Yeah.
because they have the connections, they have the machine. And if they have the machine, they get the results that they want. But brothers like myself and other, esteemed artists that, put in the work, that can do the work, they have to, kind of like, try what I would call like, different methods. You have to try different methods of kind of garnering attention for yourself. So, yeah, definitely.
Oh wow. So who are some of your favorite artists that you've worked with and why? Before we spin off to the chat and field
Yeah.
questions.
Well, I've some of my favorites probably would be maybe Face, maybe Scarface, be one of my favorites because I pretty much grew up with him. T. Draper because on the Tony Draper was very close friend of
Draper,
mine in the early
famous.
stages.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
Swab
Tony
House
Draper.
before he
Suave
actually took
House.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smith D of Face Mob is another guy that I work with closely. Very talented, underrated. Didn't get the notoriety he deserved, but he has a platinum plaque with a Face Mob with the group. Devin the Dude is another one. So I stay kind of close to the people I work with.
Yeah.
So Devin the Dude is another one. He worked with Snoop. He worked with
Oh
Litany of
man, you
artists.
you hitting the hip hop heads over the
Yeah.
head with those names. Real
Uh,
hip hop heads know what that is,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. And Chad Butler, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Chad, I
yeah,
never got
Pimp
a
C,
chance
Pimp
to really
C,
get Pimp
and
C. Yeah.
Bun B,
So those are
UGK.
some of my favorites. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. Especially UGK. And I like Toby and Ingwe. A lot of people don't know about Toby. Toby's out of A-Leaf, out of Houston. Big, but his music is more homegrown than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of my favorite artists, especially Toby. I think Toby one of my top ones because he
Okay.
got his whole family involved. Yeah,
And you work with these guys, these are some of the guys you work with.
yeah, yeah, yeah. As far as work with, not Toby, but wish to work with Toby one day. But
Yeah.
everybody else I pretty much work with, toured with, did some work with. You know, so yeah, yeah,
Is
definitely.
that how you got in? Is that part of the travel game? That because you travel quite a bit, Baz. You've done a lot of travel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, as far as the travel, yeah, definitely that's that part. When you jump into music, you have to jump in the music business. You have to be able to get around. You have to go from city to city. You have to go to places
Yeah,
where
but
people are not
but
able to reach.
overseas, I'm talking that
Oh yeah,
international game.
yeah.
Was that part of
International.
the travel with the groups, or was that just personal on you, just doing something
No,
different?
that was personal with me. That was personal with me because it was almost to the point where like I just wasn't feeling the matrix at the time as far as
Yeah,
feeling the treatment because I stayed connected to the grassroots in terms of like what's going on in the neighborhoods and the communities. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very grounded when it comes to that. A lot of that I don't show. Maybe I should show it, but a lot of that I don't show as far as videoing because a lot of times in the neighborhoods where I usually frequent, a lot of these kids don't feel, privy to unless it's like some clout chasing stuff, waving guns or you know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of them don't like being recorded,
yeah,
in the poverty situations they're in. So a
yeah.
lot of times I go in, it's hard for me to just bring a camera in and just go to filming without someone questioning, the validity of what are you doing? What's going on? So
I
yeah.
got you. I got you. I got you, Bass. I wanna spin off to the question section because we
Okay.
got another segment. After I go through these questions, we're gonna start getting into some of your music. So I really want to do that. So let's go to the questions in the chat. We have a few questions here, Baz. Question. A few questions from Miss Jams. Would a gaming laptop be better to use for music? Seems like it would have better performance for gaming, so it would work for music. Is that the case?
Uh I really haven't really seen anyone that use a gaming laptop, but any laptop would work if it takes the software. If the software is I'm pretty sure if a gaming laptop takes a gaming, it'll take software
Yeah,
from
probably will.
yeah, 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 yeah. So it can probably be used. Yeah, more definitely.
Do you copyright your beats you produce?
Yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, a lot of these softwares are so great and so good that whenever you do a beat or whenever you do any kind of production, whether it's a song, it has a section where it automatically copyrights or gives it a number or gives it a marker so that it's authentic. It has an IRC code. So it gives you a code and it gives you a definite marker so that it'll be distinguishable. So if someone else used it, it'll show the date and the time where it was made and when it came up. So yeah.
Excellent. All right, let's go to this one. Have you ever worked with DJ Khaled?
Khaled, no, I know I've worked with artists who work with Khaled. And Khaled is, he's out of Miami. So, and I have some connections with some artists in Miami. But not well known, but nah, not Khaled. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, a few other questions in the chat. Thank you for those questions in the chat. Let's get to some of your beats, Baz. I mean, most people on YouTube know you for some of the beats you made. Zoom to Thailand is one who brought you out of, where you were, like behind the scenes
Yeah, yeah,
into the
yeah.
YouTube
Definitely.
space. So, I want to play 3 of the Zoom to Thailand beats, and maybe our audience, maybe they can comment on the restream, or maybe those who are watching live right now can comment. But here are 3 of your Zoom beats. I know Richie Mack had the opportunity to pick one, and we're going to play that again, the one he picked. But did he pick the right beat? In your opinion, we'll see. I'm going to play some of the beats that you had for Zoom to Thailand. I just think they're dope, dude. So let's see if we can get some of those beats queued up. Let's see. Let's try this beat here. Okay?
Let's get it.
All right. So this is one you made for him. I'm not sure I heard this one before. Let's try it.
But remember the motto, we here to catch flights, not feelings. Now can you dig that?
Just bought a ticket, I'm about to live it up. You can have it, homie, cause I done had enough. I bought a one-way ticket on the phone, about to call my nigga Richie, gotta come and get me. I'm tired of all the faking while you dating. Gotta shake 'em up, gotta shake 'em, gotta shake 'em. Little Joe in the dough, hitting sevens, now it's assalamu alaikum, you can keep the bacon. Over here, we treat it real with it. Fake women, you gotta deal with it. Cause if it's fire, then we will hit it. Baby in the lunch line, looking for a meal ticket. If she hot, we make 'em all stop. Shut 'em down, open up shop. Cause baby, she be bouncing like a 6'4" Impala. Hitting switches, make it drop. Baby, I'm just chillin'. Got my mind on some millions. Wanna live life, I'm building. Leave a legacy for my children. Just do it like Nike. Carry on luggage, out of mind, out of sight. Had too much fun, almost made me miss my flight. Sleeping in the morning, probably landing at a night. Catching flights, not feelings. Mommy bumping like 808. Mucho grande like que lo que. Booty by the caseload, all she want is peso. In Thailand, it's boom, boom. Love that 808 when it boom, boom. She massaged my mind and she love me long time. Ex Richie make me zoom. I pay respects to the motherland. She got a shape to make stutter, man. I keep it in living color. We don't bleach it or scrub it. Keep it big like an elephant. Yeah. I'ma cuff it like I'm Butterman. Like the wiggle in that walk like a gelatin. And they coming off flavors full of melanin. Birthplace of the first man. Damn. Baby, I'm just chillin'. Got my mind on some millions. Wanna live life, I'm building. Leave a legacy for my children. We catching flights with no feelings. Please don't you get in your feelings. Ain't how you feeling. Baby, I'm chasing a million. And stopping till I see a billion. You catching cases, I'm touching bases, connecting flights. From Sasua to diaspora, Brazilian nights. Waking up in Medellin, the Spanish rice. Boricua chicas, me Cubanistas, Miami Vice. Bounce, biggity bounce for an outfit. Might fly you out for the next trip. Peace of mind, you know I gotta have it. Don't catch feelings, we disappear like magic. Yeah, you're flying first class, we united. If it's Delta, don't you get excited. You fly Spirit on the budget. If you like it, then I love it. If you broke, don't you hide it. We catching flights, not feelings. We catching flights, not feelings. We catching flights, not feelings. Cause that's how I'm living.
I'm gonna go right into the next one. There's 2 more. And this is the famous beat that he chose. But I gotta play it again. But I'm gonna shorten it.
Richie Mack, Travel OG.
And then we'll play the 3rd beat that you provided me. But
Let's
let me
get
hear
it.
a little bit of this. I love this beat.
I just wanna zoom out to Thailand. Once my flight land, then I turn it into my land. I'm a Thai fan. Richie Mack, I'm arriving. Once I hit Pattaya, got bands, I'ma dive in. On the golf course, I'ma use my 9-9. She love chocolate, watch her walk it, cause she fine. She 5'1", in them heels like she 5'9". Hit subscribe, going live, 9999. Richie Mack, overseas, that's that travel OG. Pay a visit when you can. Wanna zoom to Thailand. Richie Mack, Travel OG. From the original BAZZ, Big Bass. Let's get it. I just wanna zoom up in Thailand.
Yeah, that's hot.
I
So
just
I'm
wanna
gonna play the last one
zoom up in Thailand.
now. And did Richard pick the right beat?
I'm tired of America, so I'm hitting Richie on the net. I got the tickets, that's a bet. We need the link, my brother set it up. Damn, I didn't had enough. Ooh, I won't lie. Can I get a little shake with them fries? My skin tone is matching your eyes. Black men, you know we like them thighs. And baby, she can do it all. Your land is my land, cut through it all. Gotta sing it, baby, baby, like Biggie Smalls. I'm like, my, when she do that walk. I zoom to Thailand and high, yo. We can do a little bit of typo. Get to know each other, do a thigh show. Snap a few pictures for a slideshow. Wink my eye, yo, I'm like, hi, yo. Maybe we can do a little typo. Get to know each other, do a thigh show. Snap a few pictures for a slideshow. Wink my eye, yo. Richie Mac, Travel OG, subscribe, to Thailand.
So did Richie Mac pick the right beat? I'm gonna let the audience decide. I'll let the chat. Which one did you like, the first, second, or the third? Richie Mac picked the second. The second is my fave. That's why I play it to death. That second one is just crazy to me, but all of them are super hot. I'll let you guys go in the comment section and decide after the repost of this. And I can also post what you guys say here in the chat as well. Now, Big Bazz, in the beginning, you were in the lab making a specific song for this broadcast for the Bet Out of Debt show. You remember that?
Yeah, definitely. You talking about the Mo Haters track?
Yeah, the Mo Haters track, dog. I got to play that Mo Haters track for my YouTube audience, and I'm gonna use this Mo Haters track because you put the Bet Out of Debt thing in there. So guys, listen to this one. And you can also comment to see if the Bet Out of Debt show should use this exclusive that no one has ever heard before. So check this out.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
I go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. Wrench for the moderators. I see a lot of haters, white, black collaborators, arbitrators, harvest haters, talking down like you Shaq. Game time, call me baby. Wasn't in the gym when I was ballin', trying to take it over. When I'm not around, talking down. Shout out to Kobe. Everybody out there throwing dirt on your last name. God created black facts. Why you hate on that man? Cause he dope. Ain't talking about dope, I'm talking about splat. He got that glow, he got that vibe. Even when they tell him no, make a way out of no way. That's that give and go. Go. Woke up this morning, say my prayer, cause God is great. On time, but these haters running late. Hard work get you everything, don't care what haters say. For success, better know it comes with hate. Today I need more haters and more haters and more haters and more. More haters and more haters and more haters and more. More haters and more haters and more haters and more. More haters and more haters and more haters and more. Keep telling lies, keep on selling hope. I smell a dog, if you smell a Mowgli slipping. He's stealing lines, he's snapping quotes. You swear he lied, put that on God, he just a joke. It used to be your love. Watch that smile turn into a mug. B-boy, all you really need is a hug. Daddy showed him no love. Mama fell in love with them thugs. In and out the house chasing after them drugs. Success, progress, gotta get on your get off the bottom. No money, no risk. Hate ain't a threat, we take it and wear it and flex. Stuck to my chest like a vest. Gamble and shake it and next. Cash we take and invest. Poverty, government checks. Bet out of debt. Virginia, we into the debt. We curse, we turn and we're blessed. We playing test with the best. Ain't got no time to be stressed. Bet out of debt.
There we go. There we go, Bazz.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the comment section will let us know, man. They're going to let us know. When this repost, they'll let us know in the building. I think Miss Jams was up in here. I think she voted. Miss Jams, did you vote up in here in this camp? I think Miss Jams went with number 2. I think she said number 2 was it. I agree with Zoom, agree with me. But we'll see what the comment section say. And guys, I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, get the likes up, share comments, and subscribe to the Bet Out of Debt show. I do these type of show because I'm a travel guy too. I travel all over the world and I invest and make money And with that money, one of my passions, one of the things I do is travel. And I travel also with my job. So you're going to always see travel related content here on this financial channel as well. So don't get it twisted. This all works together. And we got a few people in the building. We got the casual economist in the building. Mo Hater Track goes hard too. I agree, bro. I totally agree. And good morning to you, casual economists. All right, Baz, let's start to wrap this thing up. There was a few comments here. Let's get these comments very quickly. And then let's kind of wrap things up, my friend, because I got a few comments in closing. I do not see those comments. I can't find them now. I think we'll wrap them up. If you still have those questions, hit me back, and let's kind of wrap the show up. So Baz, a couple of closing thoughts here. Let's talk about being in the music game. You've been in the music game for over 20 years. What are some of the most rewarding parts about being in the music game, my friend?
I guess the most rewarding parts is being able to creatively have control of what you put out in terms of your content. You can kind of shape, what you put out and what direction you go. And it's empowering too, because you can go, like, say for instance, something like Zoom to Thailand, the show itself. Like, you can travel like the world, and that song or that intro, can kind of like stick with you, and it's good to meet people that appreciate it, people like yourself and other people that like run into you and be like, oh man, I heard this intro you did for so-and-so. Cause I did maybe about 10 different intros for different YouTubers.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
they need to get with you, man. If you need a custom song, I think the proof is in the pudding, but go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I do tracks, I do beats, but a lot of times what I try to do is I try to put like my best effort in whatever I do and who I'm working with. So there's a connection. So just like doing something for you, it was a connection in doing it for you. Through Richie Mack. It was a connection with Big Boss.
Oh, Big Boss, that Real Talk beat is crazy you did for his YouTube show.
Yeah, so definitely, it's the process. I enjoy, the feedback. I enjoy the process. It's the process that I like. So that's the most empowering about the music business in terms of like the creative side. But definitely you got to learn about the business, because it's called music business. So you got to learn the business side in order to get your just due in terms of your royalties, your money, that deals, show money, things of that nature. But yeah, I love doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Baz, and kind of wrapping things up, let's get into some of the biggest misconceptions being in the music business. What are some of the biggest misconceptions?
The biggest misconception is you're going to be rich.
Go ahead, elaborate, my friend.
Well, it's I think it's like doing YouTube. You film and you show what you want to show. So when artists put out music videos, you don't know that the car that they got in the music video is rented. You don't know that they're on a set. You don't know that it's, pre-production. You don't know that the money that they have is not real. You don't know that the gold that they have on is costume jewelry. You don't know that, the girls that's dancing around them that appear to be girls out the hood are actually models and actresses that come there and they do their job and they leave. So, but after the video is all over, after the video is over and done with, you see that, it's all smoke and mirrors, so the aesthetics of you being rich, there's a saying, fake it till you make it.
Oh man, look, the lead attorney's in the building. You made a track for the lead attorney.
Oh, definitely.
If you still there, lead, please let me know. Hit. I want to play something Big Bass did a little. What do you call it, Bass, for the lead
I call it
attorney?
like a tribute because I appreciate, his content and how he kind of like just, kind of came out of nowhere and stepped it up in terms of the YouTube sector as far as like what he represent as a black man. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I appreciate him, and I was like, you know what? Let me, do something kind of like on a level to where just to show my appreciation. It wasn't no, you know, more or less just showing my appreciation because I like what he do.
Well, the
And I,
lead is still here. Let me play this little tribute you did to the lead attorney. And lead, if you ever need a custom beat, check this out. He did this little thing for you. I have it queued up right here. Let me get back to it. Hold on for a second. Let me play this for the lead attorney live. We're gonna go off script here, and let me play this for lead and see what lead thinks. All right, lead attorney, here's Big Bass tribute to you.
My home state, my hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. It is going down in the ATL. Do you hear me?
Got a little problem, little baby mama drama, and you need to leave counsel. All you gotta do is call
What they
lead.
say, like, Lee just can't keep a black woman happy, boy. He can't do it.
Courtroom to the streets, YouTube. We can meet, tune in that week. Lead attorney, but the homies call him lead.
Struggle streaming already. Man, come to Atlanta if you want to.
ATL Georgia, we done that. We don't just follow, we run that. You like it, I give it, then come back. Kick it off like a Sunday, they run back. The haters don't believe, so I lead. Please, success it comes with hate, gotta achieve. Please, nothing ever stop, you gotta lead. Please, learn me lead, attorney, call me lead. Please, the haters don't believe, so I lead. Please, success it comes with hate, gotta achieve. Please, nothing ever stop, you gotta lead. Please, learn me lead, attorney, call me lead. Please.
Come on down. Come on down. You'll be lucky if your windows just get busted out. You'll be lucky.
Yeah, lead, that's for you, man. We played that a few weeks ago. I'm not sure you heard it, but we played it a few weeks ago. So shout out to the lead attorney for always supporting the show. Man, I love that guy. That guy is a trooper, man.
yeah, he's the truth. He's the truth.
Yeah, the lead attorney, we all aspire to have 150,000 subscribers. He may be at 200,000 now. But thanks for the support, man. He comes to support people like us, small YouTubers like us, man. I mean, just shout out to the lead attorney, man. Just, I can't say enough about people like him. All right, Baz. Let's go ahead and start to wrap things up, my friend. A few additional questions. Knowing what you know, knowing what you know about the music business and everything, would you recommend the music business for those, younger guys who are going to follow your footsteps, and why? Let's give the baby some encouraging news.
Yeah. Well, I think that the way music is now distributed and the way music is set up now, I think there's more room for ownership. I think it's more room for changing the game in terms of like NFTs and things of that nature, because we're in a digital realm, right? IT tech, things of that nature, engineering, things are changing. So I think that the younger generation can take it to a whole nother level when it comes to that, because we have more control. Just like I'm able to reach Richie Mack in real time. He's in Thailand, I'm here in Houston, and we made that connection, and it's happening. You know what I'm saying? So, and we haven't officially met in real time. I'm talking about face to face, but more than likely I'll be going out there sometime probably in October. But definitely, it's room for growth in this game, and I just think that information is everything. Knowledge is everything, and you have to upgrade your knowledge. Once you upgrade your knowledge, I think then you'll have a more consistent momentum in terms of moving in this music business, because it's ever changing. Everything changes. It's like the laws changing, the music game, and the way they do business and the way they do deals are changing. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get into the commercial field. I'm trying to get into every field there is when it comes to music.
Yeah, man. And look, we got Gil at Night in the building. You know Gil at Night.
Yeah.
You know your boy Richard Mack always trying to protect Gil at Night. He's jealous of Gil at Night. I love to hear his commentary. I wish I could join his live stream. I'm doing the e-bike shop during that time. You know, I always talk about this very successful electronic bike shop that I'm a part owner in. And it's really blowing up. So I haven't been able to join the live stream. But Gil at Night, I'm a subscriber. And welcome to the show. All right, let's kind of wrap things up, Baz. Any encouraging words for those who may want to follow in your footsteps, my friend?
Yeah, just stay consistent. You know, don't keep people around you who motivate you. Have people who are smarter around you. Don't keep just yes men around you, because honesty is the best policy. If it's not good, it don't sound good. Have them, you know, that's the only way you're going to make progress. And I think, you know, keep God first. You got to have a relationship with your creator. Whoever you call your creator, you got to have some type of relationship that you can kind of like, you know, give up that control to, because we don't control anything.
True that. Last shout outs. Any shout outs on any current projects that you're working on, things that our audience should know about you and your channel before we shut her down?
Yes, sir. Well, Big BAZZ Life is really just about travel and music. So a lot of that I want to show. I haven't put a lot of content in terms of like different artists, because I want to get clearance before I put it up. But definitely, I got this album I'm working on. It's not like the YouTube friendly album. So if you used to listening to Big BAZZ in terms of like the YouTube content, it's a whole lot different format. You know, the content as far as the album is great. It will be on like Apple Music, all of these different big platforms. So if you subscribe to me, I would definitely let you know when that's going to drop, and it'll probably be dropping in another month. So I've been working on some stuff, and I got some well-known people coming through to kind of share their voice on the album. So yeah, tune into that.
All right, man. I tell you, it's been a pleasure having you here on the show. Guys, like, subscribe, and comment on the music we played earlier. If you didn't get a chance to hear that music, go to the very, very opening. We played some of Big BAZZ, and then maybe 20 minutes ago, we played some of Big BAZZ exclusive stuff. Guys, I appreciate you joining today. Man, Baz, it's a pleasure having you all the way from Houston. For those who want to reach out to you, they can go to your channel. I'm also going to post your information in the comments afterwards so that they can get in touch with you. Yep. And it's been another successful show. Baz, and we rap. We talk like 2 or 3 times a week behind the scenes. So we'll be in touch.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to the lead attorney for following through and showing love, man. Like I like brothers like that kind of like, I remember I was on the same live with him with TMD. So when he popped in with TMD, so I know in real time what kind of brother he is, and he does show love. So that's why I wanted to show him love by doing a little tribute I did.
Yeah, and I plan to connect with Lead again. He's on another platform. The market is way down. I would love to do a show with Lead talking about trading. Last time we did a show together, we talked about being an attorney, and he dropped Superman game. I would love to have another show with Lee talking about investing, just along the investment line for our younger viewers. But that's another day, another situation. So I'm going to wrap it up. This has been the Bet Out of Debt Show. We call this show the Bet Out of Debt Show because when you place a trade, it's called placing a bet, which is a metaphor for investing. And hopefully it's a winner one to keep you out of debt. And as always, keep investing. And we'll see you the next time. Always Sunday, 8:15 a.m. on the Bet Out of Debt Show.